Well, happy new year, everyone. It's 2021. Can you even believe it? I think most of us probably can believe it. And we are so happy that 2020 is way back there. But we're still dealing with some of the lingering effects that are flowing through into the new year. And that's why I've been really kind of honing in, not only with all of you, but also in my own practice, in my own business, about what I want/ need to do differently in 2021 because nobody saw the curveball coming. And I think we probably still have a few more curveballs this year left. But one of the things that we can do to make sure that our message reaches that right audience with the right words, the right terms, the right passion, the right type of communication is what I talk about often, and that is how to identify your niche. Now, before you hit the stop button or you decide you don't want to listen anymore, just hear me out for a minute. When we, as healthcare practitioners, decide that we are going to serve everyone, we, in essence, serve no one. And I've said that so many times, and it is very, very true. Because if you wanted a practitioner to help you with a certain problem, wouldn't you look for a practitioner that specialized in that problem? Yeah, you would. And that's what the rest of us would do. We all would do that. We would find that practitioner that is specializes in Hashimoto's, or the practitioner that specializes in headaches or constipation or SIBO or whatever it is. But we would find that one that we feel confident knows all about us and all about our situation. Now, that's just over here kind of on the clinical side. But what you and I need to know about our respective patient population is, what is it about that ideal perfect patient that makes them a good fit? So when I know that my niche, we'll use Hashimoto's as an example. If I know that my niche is Hashimoto's, then I need to know everything I can about the patients who have Hashimoto's, because that allows me to create messaging in my marketing and the way that I communicate with them and resources that I might give them that will help them to believe and know that I can help them. I'm the one that can help them. It's long been said in the marketing world that the person with the best product, or in our world, the person that's the best clinician, may never win, but the person with the best messaging will always win. So if you're struggling to get more patients in the door, you need a fuller schedule, you want more financial reward or financial income for the work that you're doing with patients, but they're either not getting there or they're not staying when they do get there. That, my friend, has to do with your messaging. And the only way that we can get your messaging right starting out this new year is by understanding who that ideal patient really looks like. What do they do? Who are they at their essence? Who are they at their core? So, for this episode, I've created a resource for you, and it's 10 plus questions about how to basically figure out who you serve. So, I'm going to go over these with you now before you again say, wait a minute, didn't you talk about that? Well, yes, I actually talk about it all the time. But I did do an episode early on about how to identify your niche, and it was more about the on the practitioner side, like, what do you love to treat? What lights you up when you see your schedule for the day and you see that particular name and you know that they have Hashimoto's? You go, oh yay, I can't wait. Or pregnancy and fertility, that's my thing. I love working with babies and mamas and nursing and pregnancy and all that. That's like what lights me up. So, the last one, if you want to go for some additional context, you can. It's called Identifying Your Niche. And just go to rondanelson.com/4, just the number four, and it'll take you right to that episode. So that's more about you and I figuring out what our niche is. But today, I'm going to give you 10 things that you must know about your ideal patient in order to create messaging that really serves them, connects with them, and helps them know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you, my friend, are the one that can help them. So the first one is you need to know, now this is just in general terms, but you really need to know the age and the gender of your ideal patient. Well, why does that matter? Well, it matters because if your niche is sports injuries for college athletes, as compared to Hashimoto's in menopausal women, you're going to talk to them completely differently. Their life experience is different. The way that they think about the world, the way that they think about their health is different. So you have to know their age and you want to know their gender. Are you speaking to males, females? What is the gender? What is it that you're speaking to? And about how old they are. So for the Hashimoto's patient, I would say on average, we're probably going to see, it's a pretty big spectrum, really, because we're seeing more and more Hashi's patients show up at younger ages, but maybe you want to be the Hashimoto's and menopause person. Maybe that's what lights you up. So then your age range would be anywhere from 50 to 65. So then your messaging is going to be appropriate, written appropriately for that 50 to 65 age category. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. The second thing you need to know is their stage of life. So, if we're dealing with menopause and Hashimoto's, it's clear that their stage of life is menopause. But if you're a practitioner and let's say you love working with young moms, I call them soccer moms, stroller moms, and all of them have yoga pants, right? Major stereotype, no offense meant. But what we want to do is think about if your niche, your ideal patient is that soccer mom and she's got kids in, upper middle school or elementary school, upper elementary school, your messaging is going to be very different to that soccer mom than it would be to a menopausal woman. So what stage of life are they in? Childbearing, kids are going off to college, high school, maybe they're re-entering the workforce. You just kind of want to know that about them because that'll help you. The third one is their relationship. Are you talking to people who are single or married? What is their relational status? Are they in a partner type relationship? Does your ideal patient want to be or need to be single? Are they a college student? And that then they would be single. Sorry. Are they a college student? And so then they would be single. What is their stage of life? What is their relationship status? The next one we want to know is their occupation. What do they do for a living? Are they professionals? Like working with a tie? Well, not many people are working in offices anymore, but are they working for big companies? Are they stay at home moms? Are they self employed? Or maybe they're your ideal target audience, like mine would be for working with women with fertility and young children, pregnancy. They're often doing things at home, so they may have a little online business, or they're looking for other ways to create revenue at home because they're in that stage of life where they're building their family. So you want to know, what is their occupation? What do they do for a living? And kind of what does that look like? The next thing is their hobbies and interests. So this is number 5, hobbies and interests. Well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, it has everything to do with it. I'll tell you why. Because when you know what their hobbies are, what they're interested in, it helps to give you clues about where they may be going online. And if at some point you decide to do any kind of AdWords, or you're going to do any, retargeting with Facebook ads or Instagram ads, you want to know, where do they hang out? What do they love to know? Are they gardeners? Do they love cooking? Maybe they love parenting. Maybe they are more into the community and they're more locally active and want to participate in some kind of a regeneration or restoration of a certain part of your city. You want to know, what do they do for fun? What are their hobbies? What are their interests? What do they love to do? If your ideal patient, for instance, is loves to do photo, what do you do, that thing with the pictures, photo books, right, where you put pictures. And I am like not creative at all. I draw stick people and that's it. So that is a whole world I know nothing about. But let's just say that they love scrapbooking. That's what it is. They love scrapbooking. So you might want to host a scrapbooking event at your office if you're open and you're seeing patients, or you may want to sponsor one, or you may want to involve some picture taking or invite in a photographer. Those are the things that you can do that speaks the language of your ideal patient and lets them know that you get them, right? You get them. All right, number 6, aside from or in addition to their favorite hobbies and interests, we want to know, what do they love to watch and listen to and read? So, what are their favorite blogs? What are their favorite podcasts? What do they watch when they go to the movies? Are they into sci fi or romances or thrillers or comedy? What is it that interests them? Again, this helps you create good messaging that allows you to connect with them. So if you know that your stay at home moms love, you know, I don't know, cartoons or something, Nemo and the Disney stories, you may, in your writing, you may want to throw in when you're writing an ad or you're posting on Facebook or social media, you may want to put in a comment or two that has to do with what it is and that they resonate with what their life looks like. Because what that does is subconsciously, she thinks, oh, yeah, he definitely gets me. She knows exactly where I'm at in life, that I'm watching this movie for the umpteenth time. Sounds like she's watched it too. It just creates the ability to connect. That's what we're trying to do. All right. Next one is, this one's super important. Where do they hang out on social media? Where are your people hanging out? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Facebook? Are they on MeWe, which is a new platform that's replacing Facebook? A lot of people are migrating over there. Where do they hang out? Are they professionals? So they're more on LinkedIn? Are they YouTube? So, do you need to be on YouTube? When you find out where your ideal perfect patient lives, where do they get their social experience from? What's that platform look like? Then you'll know where you need to show up, right? That's where you need to start posting. You don't need to be everywhere. There's no need for that. It just makes more work. It's more complicated, adds a lot more complexity to your life and your job. Keep it simple, find out where they hang out, and then guess what you're going to do? Boom, you're going to go right there and hang out with them. Another one, we're almost done. We got a couple more. This is number 7. What is their primary problem? Now, this one should be pretty easy for you to answer because it's what you've decided that you want your niche to be. What's their primary problem? And how is it affecting their lives? So, if we use the example of the Hashimoto's patient, their primary problem may be weight gain and, sleeplessness and hair loss, and they're in menopause and they don't love it. They're not loving the way they look, they don't love their life. And how that's impacting them is they may not feel comfortable being out with friends because their weight or their hair. So you want to know, what is their primary issue and how is it impacting them? Because how it impacts them is another place where you can start to have messaging or language that helps them identify, gosh, Mary, when you are losing your hair, you may not feel real comfortable going out in public, and we need to get that fixed. We need to help that hair grow back. And here's how we do that. Something like that. So that Mary knows you get it. She doesn't like to go out because she looks thin hair. Who wants to have that? Especially not us women. So you want to write in a way, communicate with your messaging that you get her. Number 9, what is their greatest source of stress? And what's the thing that keeps them up at night? Is it that they worry about their health? Are they worried about their children? Is it financial concerns that they're worried about? Is it the impending mandatory vaccines that they're worried about that we're being told? What is their biggest stressor? Is it that they don't know how to cook for their family? Well, my goodness, you can help with that. You can provide meal plans. You can give them ideas for food if that's it. If it's vaccines, you can provide them information on how they can best support and prepare their body for a vaccine and then what to do afterwards, right? If it's finance, you can talk to them about maybe some financing that you have or a way that they can get more of the nutrients from their diet so they don't have to use as many supplements when they come in and see you. There's lots of things that you can do and recommendations that you can make that help them feel confident that you get them. That's all we're trying to do here, right? So you want to know what's the greatest thing that stresses them out? What keeps them up at night? What do they worry about? And you want to know that. And then lastly, we want to know what motivates them. What are they motivated by? Are they motivated by fear of being ill? Are they motivated because they don't want to get cancer? Or are they motivated because a spouse is pushing them into your office? We've all had those patients, right? We want to know what is it that's driving them? Are they anticipating and wanting a better life? Those are the patients we love to get, right? Because they're the ones that say, "I'll do whatever you want. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm all in. I want to have the best life and have the best health possible." Sometimes that's the motivator. Other people are just running from fear of having something bad happen. So you want to know what motivates them. And every patient's going to be different. I get that, but you just want to have a good idea about your specific patient type. What is it that motivates them? So that was 10. We kind of flew through those bad boys really fast. So here's how you can get your hands on this resource. It's linked in the show notes for this episode of the Clinical Entrepreneur Podcast. This is episode number 26. Or you can go to rondanelson.com/26 and you can download it if you are driving or riding or on the treadmill. You just remember 26, rondanelson.com/26. And I also, in that resource, I gave you an extra 10 questions that you could be thinking about as you're working through the ones we just talked about. Those I think are the most important ones. But there's some other questions that might be helpful for you to know. For instance, do they have a pet? How many children do they have? Right? How long have they lived in the same town? So there's just some other questions that help you kind of fill in the blanks or kind of complete the picture with your patients so that you have as much information as possible to be able to really connect with them at a level that where they feel comfortable with you. If you don't know or you're just a little shy, you're not real sure, you can always do a survey. That's another great tool that you can use that will help the patient be able to answer those questions and do it anonymously. One of my favorite survey tools is called Jot Form, and they have a free pre-plan that you can get on Jot Form. I'll put the link in the show notes for you. Another one is Survey Monkey. I think there's a fee with Survey Monkey, but Jot Form is free. At least it was the last time I knew. So those are two resources you can do. And you can just ask your questions in the survey and then send them a link to the survey. That way, if you're not comfortable having that conversation with them, just ask them anonymously and they'll give you the information. Sometimes even people give more information when they can do it privately and not have to have that face to face with you. So that's it for this week. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of the Clinical Entrepreneur Podcast. My name is Rhonda Nelson. I'm your host. I'll be back with you next week for more tips and tricks on how to scale and grow your healthcare practice. Take care, my friend. Are you feeling a little overwhelmed about growing and managing your business as you go into 2021? I know that I have really had to rethink some things because what we thought was going to work in 2020, I don't know if that's going to work in 2021. So if you don't have a clear plan or strategy all laid out, I would be happy to help you. All you have to do is go to rondanelson.com/strategy to schedule a free 15-minute business strategy call with me. I really want to help you feel super confident as you roll into the new year with some key action steps that'll help you get traction as you move towards your goals. It might be a financial goal. You want to make a better income. It could be a marketing goal. I hear that from practitioners a lot, that marketing is where they really struggle. So regardless of where you're at, all you have to do is go to rondanelson.com/strategy, schedule that free call, and I will help you get an action plan that'll help you get results and get traction moving into the next year. All right, my friend, take care. Have a great week.